Welcome in another video on my channel.
Your sanity is not
3 days
promised
from
you
now,
here.
3 days from now, we will have an update. Secret of the Atlas, Path of Exile 1, as I hope it will put some remedy to the catastrophe of Path of Exile 2. And as you can see, the huge updates. It took me some time to digest all the information with the help of friends, of course. Some buffs, some nerfs, skill changes, interaction changes, new endgame bosses, new endgame mechanics, probably, new content, and also some useless buffs for useless items I've never seen somebody use, like for example Wing of Entropy. They're trying to bring these items back to life. Actually they were dead since the moment it got born or something like that. However, if you don't have time to read everything, I summarized some of the major things that I think worth taking care of. There are a lot. This is not everything. This is part of it. So we can talk about right now, save your time, buffs and nerfs. From the buffs, I noticed they buffed Arcane Surge, grant 20 cast speed more, used to be 10, and more mana regen. Winter Orb received the big chunk boosted by 20% effectiveness, more stages, better projectile frequency. Blade Flurry, Blade Blast received some buff. Blade Travel, Great Swords. I think it will be a critical increasing. I've seen streamers doing it. It was not bad. It was really gimmicky but effective. In terms of the increased damage and reduced cooldown recovery. Some bugs fixes. Animate Guardian now retain the items instead of losing it when it dies. Community highlights. Winter Orb seems big, massive update, and Champion also have an insane update. We're going to talk about it. For the nerfs, probably things you have to avoid, starting with Lightning Strike, Frostblade, Splitting Steel. These things are not quite in a good position right now to consider as a startup, actually. They remove return projectile mechanic. I don't know why. Power Siphon, the damage have been like nerfed crazy. They increase the attack speed, yeah, increase the attack speed, but nerf the damage almost by I don't know, 50%, like 30% less damage. So yeah, if you're planning to play Power Siphon Mines, I think it's a bad position to do that right now. Here is a summary table for the nerfs if you want to keep it as a remark later. Um, I think this is the major thing that I notice. I'm sure there are more. For the classes, as you can see, some receive buffs, some receive nerfs. Worthy to mention, Berserker got reworked, Defy Pain, Gore Dancer, Ancestor Fury, more likely, Cheoi, I think. It was just attack speed and just crit. For the champion, it's massive. It's massive. The champion in the past, like in the previously, the champion have maximum cap fortification to 15. It doesn't matter, but right now, if you increase max fortification from the tree, fortitude will give you max fortification. So if you get fortified until 30, you will get 30% less damage. The Guardian received a buff, New Harmony, Shrine buff 10 seconds, Unwavering 50 reservation efficiency. Previously, just focusing on aura, no shrine interaction. For the Hierophant Sanctuary of Thought got received. Saboteur received some kind of mix, but the major buff that I've seen worth to mention is, yeah, this is really nice, which is 50% chance return on projectile with Shrapnel Specialist. For the Trickster, received nerf here and here, Escape Artist and Polymath. It's not a big nerf, like instead, I've never used that point, like I've never used that ascendancy point, but definitely it receives some 1% for every mastery, reduce the damage. For the Elementalists, they buff the Golem and they nerf the Shaper nodes. For the items, Facebreaker received like instead of 600 to 800 roll, now it rolls to 1,000. Calm Spirit, finally they revived him a little bit, some boost, more rage region, like per 200 life region you get one rage instead of per 300. I think it's not bad. For the devouring item, I think it's still in a good place. It just remove the +1 to socketed gems. It doesn't matter. I've never used for that. I always use just for the Eldritch Battery and the reservation efficiency, I believe. Primordial Chain give you 15% more damage to the Golem. Soul Rest Staff, a huge boost to the Phantasm minion damage. Grace of the Goddess, Wing of Entropy. I don't think, yeah, it's just from 10 to 30 into 50. Not that. Wing of Entropy, I've never seen myself in the near future or the far future using that axe for any reason or such thing. Mercenary Lot is it's a fine glove. This one, I believe, this one used to drop everywhere in the game and now drops only from a certain event. The new event, actually, the Mercenary only. The Admiral Buddy give you 50% more chance to freeze and shock and ignite. I think this is really, I think this is really nice addition or the really nice buff to that unique item. Mark of the Data Knight, I don't care about this one. The Brackish Impatient now receive a huge nerf. Previously, when you stand wearing this boot, all your charges go to the max, right? So, like, you have maximum 3 charges, so 3 frenzy, 3 power, 3 endurance. But right now, when you drop it and you pick it up, it rolls only for one charge type only, either frenzy or power or endurance. It doesn't matter, like if you're doing like frenzy stacking, it's still working on that. You have to buy the expensive one, the frenzy one. And I'm sure if you slam it with Divine, there is a chance that it will change the type of the charge. Cane of Colomac received the maximum, probably a really good buff right now in a very rare occasion. It rolled 4 veiled mods instead of 3 mods. This item dropped from Uber Katarina. For the new gym, they introduced only one gym, Focus Channeling, I think. It's a support gym that will be gifted to the Witch and the Shadow during the acts. It's empowered channeling skills, as the name says. We're going to talk about it later. 20 more unique items have been added to the game. Focusing on 2 items that we mentioned. Wine of the Prophet Gold Flask that gives you random divination buff for 20 seconds. So if it's like a headhunter buff, it's something that make you, like, for example, divination buff of movement speed, or divination buff of attack speed, or divination buff of some damage or protection. Probably this thing is going to be really expensive because you can stack it. So technically you're gonna stack flask charge gained and flask charge use reduce them. And yeah, 50% chance not to consume flasks, so you're gonna keep spamming the flask while hitting the enemy, stacking all these charges. Maybe uh, this is just maybe this is just going to be like an unstackable random, so you get the buff for 20 seconds, and after 20 seconds you get the next buff. Or maybe it's stackable, which make the Traitor node or Balbala really powerful this league. And the other one is the Starcaller Axe, which triggers level 20 Starfall on melee crits. So if you're playing a crit build melee, this thing might be really powerful. I'm not sure, but I am willing to try it this league for sake of fun. Finally, for the startups, I believe Righteous Fire Inquisitor is a good startup. Not very good. I give it 5 out of 10, but it's very viable because you can collect trash out of the ground, and yeah, you clear everything on your way. Explosive Trap, Shadow Saboteur, I give it 9 out of 10. It's really powerful startup. Cyclone Champion, if you like Cyclone and Melee, you get the Champion Duelist. I give it like 7 out of 10. Summon Raging Spirit, you go Necromancer or Champion. Definitely, I give it 10 out of 10 as a startup because you don't need a heavy gear and you can clear content to the end game. Glacier Cascade, Elementalist. This position I can't actually say so because with the Elementalist, you can go really expensive build and deal amount of damage, or you can really not like the build. It's kind of boring. For my startup this league, I believe the best thing for me is to go Trickster and use the meta thing that they work on, the huge buff, which is Winter Orb. Uh, Finally, I think Winter Orb is back on its feet with the Arcane Surge and the Focus Channeling support. Focus Channeling support uh, give you more damage per second as long as you're channeling up to 60% more damage. 60% more damage is huge. I believe the 60% more damage is huge, but on the other hand, it will spend more, probably more mana. It will cost more mana per second spent while channeling. Maybe we can solve it with a devouring diadem, or we can solve it with other things that reduces the mana cost, or even arcane surge itself because it will give you 30% more mana regen. That's it for this folks. I hope you good luck after 3 days from the start of the league, and yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave us up a like. Sorry for no content because GG gave us no content, and see you in another video after the league start.